Have you ever found yourself totally lost and frustrated in a game because you've played a couple of bad moves and all of a sudden you're so caught up in the frustration and the agitation that it's ruining the entire game for you when at the beginning the intention was to have a good time, to connect and spend some time with friends? Yeah, I've had that happen to me before. Um, and a couple of days ago, my best friend shared an insight with me that he discovered while he was playing golf. And it kicked my ass because it brought together this idea of life as a game in the most beautiful way. And it put something right in front of my face that I couldn't ignore. And so I wanted to share with you in case this time of year you need a bit of an ass kicking yourself. Maybe, just maybe, this analogy can serve you as well as it's serving me right now. So he said, okay, I was out on the course. We were playing 18 holes and I was playing with a couple of other guys and I was watching one of the guys. He had had 3 or 4 bad holes where he hadn't played well. And I was watching as he walked up to that next tee off point. And his shoulders were slumped and he looked frustrated and he puts his ball down and he didn't even take a practice swing. He just kind of absently looked out and then with his driver swung. And the whole game just wasn't great. And he said, I had 2 thoughts that came up. One was, isn't it interesting that he could start fresh, right? Like with golf, you get to start with a blank slate. No matter how badly you played in the last round, this next one, you get to start from a fresh tee point where everybody else is starting. And it didn't matter because he couldn't let go of the last 3 or 4 holes. And the second point that he said, I could see that he has an idea of how he should play. He has an image of himself that he wasn't living into, that it wasn't matching reality. And so as a result, he was super frustrated that he wasn't playing like an extraordinary golfer. And when he said that, man, that is when the ass kicking began, because instantly in my mind, I asked, okay, so if my life is 18 holes of golf, where am I? And statistically, age-wise and all of that, I'm about at the 9th hole. And it's January, and so I'm sitting here at the 9th hole with a fresh ball in my hand. And what am I doing? Exactly what his friend was doing. I'm sitting there thinking about the last 3 holes because in my life, I feel like the last 3 or 4 holes, I have not played at all like I want. I see all of the places that I fell short. I see all of the places that I swung and I missed, or I end up in a totally different place than what I intended. And I am beating myself up for it. And the second thing is I still have, and probably also from my upbringing, it's all about, you hear it so much, be the best that you can be. You need to be extraordinary. You need to stand out. You need to be exceptional. And my friend made the comment, wouldn't it be such a relief if we could just accept that most of us are mediocre? And when he said that, I could just feel this wash of relief. Because yes, we can do exceptional things. But when I put pressure on myself all the time that I need to be exceptional in all the things that I do, it keeps me from filming a video because I don't have a voice, because I've had a cold, or because maybe I don't look the way that I want to, or I don't know exactly how I want to say what it is that I'm going to say. And so I hold myself back from the joy of connecting, the joy of expressing, the joy of maybe sometimes picking up the phone and reaching out to someone, because I'm hesitant that maybe I'm not showing up in the best way, or I know the times that I've swung and missed in the past and I'm thinking, what if I swing and I miss now? And I realize that just like those times that I get lost in the frustration, if I can't be like in Ted Lasso, he talks about being a goldfish. If I can't allow myself to bring forward the learnings, but forget those last few holes, and to recognize that I'm starting fresh right now and that I get to choose how I'm looking forward in this beautiful life with gratitude and excitement and joy, no matter what crap has come in the past. I still get to choose how I'm showing up. And sometimes I show up lazy, and that's okay. Sometimes I'm showing up highly, highly, highly imperfect. And I would rather show up for the game highly imperfect than to not show up at all. Because statistically, I still have 9 holes left. So am I going to let the last 3 dictate my future 9? Or am I going to say, okay, that was crap. That was super tough. Let's start fresh. Let's kick my own ass right now into remembering that the reason why I play this game is for the joy of living. And that is not to minimize anything, but to say that this is the most beautiful game. And it is an infinite game, meaning it's not about getting to the end with the most points or the highest or the lowest score. It is about figuring out what it is that's really important to us. For me, it's about connection and the capacity to communicate and build bridges in this life is of utmost importance for me, because connection is everything. And it's why I do the storytelling and the public speaking and the communication work, is because I love that capacity for us to build meaningful relationships, starting with a meaningful relationship with ourselves and the dialogues that we're having in our own heads. And then from there, stepping out and learning how to build bridges with our partners, with our communities, with our clients that bring joy and meaningfulness to our lives. So maybe if you needed a little ass kicking, what hole are you on? And how are you going to take that next swing?